Hey, all you sports fans out there in YouTube land, can't wait for some college football. Got about a week to go before the season sort of kicks off. Then that next week it's going to be even better. So I can't wait for it. Today we're going to get into the Power Five conferences. We're going to start out west with the Pac-12. See what I predict. I got some wacky predictions on this one, but it's a wacky conference, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. All right, we're going to start in the north. I have Oregon State finishing last. I just don't think that they're up to par with the other teams. I think it's going to be a struggle for them, and it's just they're going to have to do something to win a Pac-12 game. Honestly, fifth place, Cal. Cal's a little better than Oregon State in my opinion, but they are better. And I think that Cal, they're not going to be bowl eligible. They're not going to be having a real good season. But I think they might be able to sneak in a game or two that they can win in conference. Fourth, I've got Oregon picked. Some people haven't picked a lot higher than that, but I don't think Oregon is there yet. And I think this is kind of a in my opinion, a 4-team race, and whoever gets it figured out, that's the team that's going to make it. And honestly, I wouldn't be like adamant that you're wrong if you pick any of the 4 teams that are left in the north. So I think Oregon's going to be a team that's a bowl team, and it just depends on how good of a bowl they go to. Depends on how well they come through in the conference. Washington is a school that I think is going to be a pretty good team. I think they're finishing third in the North. I think it's going to be a battle between the 4 teams, and Washington just doesn't quite have it against Washington State, and that's the difference. That they've kind of held them down for a few years. I think Washington State's ready to take it this year against Washington. Number 2. Stanford. Stanford's going to finish second. They're going to be a good, hard-nosed football team that's going to play well, and they're going to play smart. And you can almost depend on that. And I just think they're going to not have enough to win it, but they're going to be close. Number 1, if you know the Pac-12, you know what's left, Washington State. I think Washington State's going to take a big jump. It may be just because I kind of like Leach. He's different character. He's one of those guys. If he was your child, you probably want to spank him all the time. But because his mind is out there, you'll ask him a question, and he'll start talking about pirates, or he'll start talking about the space program, and you're thinking, well, that's all well and good, but we're talking about going to the park, kid. Why are you talking about going to space? Let's talk about that another time. And if I had him in class, I swear I'd probably be ready to throw him through a window. But as a coach, he's good, and his players respond to him. He was offense coordinator at Oklahoma way back, and he was ahead of his time, and he went to Texas Tech, and they didn't have a whole lot there, and he made a whole lot there, and it was. You'd have a top quarterback, at least stat-wise. You'd think they were all Americans in high school, but they were just average guys coming in. There were 2 and 3 and 4 stars coming in there and throwing the ball like they were all American. So, he has a touch, and I think Washington State's going to win it all, or not win it all, but all in the Pac-12 and contend for a top 4 spot. All right, and let's go to the South. The South, I know I'm going to make some people mad out in California on this one, but in 6th place, I've got UCLA. I don't think they're going to turn it around and go forward. I think they're going backwards, and that's going to make a lot of people mad than UCLA. But you know what? You know how to make it happy? Prove me wrong and win games. That'll show me. But I don't think that they're going to be better. I think that they're going to get worse before they get better. And I think the good times are coming, but it still might be a couple years away. Fifth place, I got Arizona. I don't see them being a really a contender for the conference. I see them being a team, if they put it together, they can make a bowl, but I don't think they will. They're going to have to have some good things happening. I think that they're just going to kind of be left out with all these teams in the South that are improving. They're going to improve, but they're not going to improve as much as some of these other teams. So they're going to kind of get left behind. All right, Colorado. I like Colorado, despite the fact that the last game I went to at Colorado was against OU, and they beat us. So it was, and Oklahoma was ranked, I think, first in the nation, first, second, something like that. They were up there, and Colorado just put a spanking on them. God, that game was years ago. I still don't like that, but I do like Colorado. I like the team. I think that they're heading the right direction. They just need to put it together, and a lot of these teams, it's going to depend on how well some new guys come in and gel, and that's always hard to predict because you got a guy, he was your backup safety. Oh, he'd look pretty good in practice, but then you get to the game, you don't know how he's going to perform. He can look like a practice All-American, but then he gets to the games and he gets beat deep. It just depends on how some of the guys just come together, and some of these teams need a quarterback, and that's, to me, that's the key to it all. If you have a good quarterback, they can hide other issues. A weak defense, OU, in the past, they've hidden it because they're throwing the ball around the yard like they are. But even with a great quarterback, you proved that. The last two number one picks in the draft they ain't got no national championship ring. So you got to have a little bit of luck and a little bit of just pure talent other places besides offense, and it all is going to depend on how things come together for Colorado. But I have them picked fourth. Arizona State, I have picked third, but it's going to be a close third. I think that Arizona State is going to be that team that's almost good enough to play for the conference championship, but just a play here and a play there, that's going to be the difference. And it's all it's going to be is just the little things. The little things are going to keep them back. I don't think they're going to be far off, but sometimes it's better to know you don't have a shot at the conference than to be so close you can taste it. And I think Arizona State's going to be one of those teams they're so close they can taste it, they just can't get over that hump. All right, USC, I have finished second. They have a lot of talent on that team. They haven't been able to put it together, and a lot of that comes down to quarterback, like we said. But I look at their roster, and it's filled with guys that were 4 and 5 stars in high school, and those guys usually translate to pretty good players most of the time. I think they got too many 4 and 5 stars for it not to at least some of them to become stars. But it's just they haven't put it together yet, and a lot of that is going to depend this year on if they can get somebody to throw the ball and throw it to their team, not the other team. That's a huge difference there. I think they're going to be close, but I think Utah is going to be the team to beat in the South. And I think it's going to be a battle between Utah and Washington State, who wins the conference championship. And either one of them could be playing for a national championship, make the playoffs. It's close, but I'm not sure. If I had to pick, I pick Washington State to win the conference. But we'll see how that goes, because you can never tell about college football. Everything you think you know is going to come down. Is going to be in a few weeks. You're going to be like, man, I didn't think that team's going to be good, but they're undefeated. And then you're going to have another team that over here that team I had them picked like 5th in the nation and ain't won a game yet. You can never tell about college football. You just can't. It's just unpredictable. That's why I love it. You get certain coaches and they're able to rein their team in and win, but even those coaches, there's games where you're looking at them saying, Ohio State, how'd you lose to Purdue? Oklahoma, how'd you lose to Texas? But it's unpredictable, and I can't wait for it to get started. I believe we've got a couple games next Saturday. Can't hardly wait. The next Saturday after that should be a pretty good football week. And Sunday, because OU plays on Sunday. Oh, boy. Anyway, tomorrow I'm previewing the Big 12. And Texas fans, listen, come in. You might like, you might not. We'll see what you got to say. We'll see how it works. But anyway, like, subscribe, share this thing. Get me up there. I'll talk to you later. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to make a video and get it to you. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. Not with football either. It's going to be a busy day and work. So, all right. I'll talk to you later. See ya.